Scars Prison's Survivor Hour, where survivors of child sexual abuse share their stories, their journey, and their path to healing in the hopes that by revealing their secrets, they can inform our community and help to save our children from child sexual abuse.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here today. This is called Survivor Hour, and we are hearing very difficult but important stories of sexual abuse, of childhood sexual abuse. Our stories are so important. Revealing is healing. We are here right now with Mickey Parfit. And I just want to say to you, Mickey, thank you for sharing your story. You know, I always say, and I tell my children this, there's always purpose in pain. Mm-hmm. And I just want to applaud you for taking your pain and turning it into a purpose. And so I want you to share with our audience how you have done that.
Well, I've done a few things. So this March, I founded a support group called Empower Me Bermuda.
Wow.
And basically it's a support group based on that. It's empowering ourselves, you know, finding our voices, using our own internal wisdom for healing, support of fellow women that are also looking to heal, you know, and yeah, it's growing. There are so many women that things have happened to, and they just want to be heard. They just want a place to talk and be heard. And so right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm just providing a safe space for women to have a voice, to build your voice, to know your voice is valid, you know, to affirm yourself, you know. And that's something that I've learned over the last 10 years of trying to turn my life around.
Sometimes we don't know what's going on in someone's life. I want to say we have male survivors out there.
Yeah, we do.
We have a lot of male survivors who also need support. Sexual abuse doesn't discriminate. We have female survivors, we have male survivors.
Yeah.
And they need our support too. Yeah. We have male perpetrators and we have female perpetrators. I've heard the stories of female perpetrators. It's shocking, but it's true. You know, a sex offender could be anyone, and a victim, a survivor, could be anyone. But I am so proud, and I know you are too, Alicia, for your journey of healing and what you've done with your pain, and for you sharing your journey, so that our audience can see your pain through your lens.
I've also, over a 5-year period, I started a fundraising event called Ride for Recovery. And that was specifically geared towards focused counseling services. Focused counseling services was a safe haven for me. And it's crazy that they are struggling right now to keep their services open because they are an open door. And the difference between Focus and Women's Treatment Center is I had to go to like 13 appointments to gain entry into Women's Treatment Center. At any point in time in that, I could have said, forget this, I'm going back out, the whole time I was still using, but to get to those 13 appointments, like I really had to tell on myself and say, listen, this is what I'm doing, but you're going to have to find me to come get me, to take me. You know what I mean? Versus Focus, I can just go there and walk in the door. I can get a plate of food. You know what I mean? If I stay there long enough, I can get a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. Yeah. There's people there that are suffering and we can sit there and talk. And so I saw this. And when I had the ability, I became a spinning instructor because I found out physical fitness is my thing. I love it. It helps with my anxiety and depression, as well as my anger. It's a good coping mechanism and release for me. And I founded the Ride for Recovery. And over a 5-year period with the huge support of Dwayne Streaker Adams through Streaker's Spin Studio, raised over $20,000 to feed the people in Focus.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I'm really proud of that, and I'm actually working on another Ride for Recovery that will be huge. Like I'm going to push it out to corporations, and because I mean, 5 years to raise $20,000, and like we need more. We need to recognize how everything's interrelated and interconnected, because these people are suffering just like I have. Yeah. And when you bring up the man, you know, there's so many men on our streets. You know, just like I had to use my body to support my habit, you know, there's a lot of people out there doing that. And so there is, you know, everybody, but it's stemming from something. Yes. Right? You know? Yeah.
And we each have a part to play.
Exactly.
You know, in this community. And I am so glad you talked about focus counseling.
Yeah,
You know,
they're near and dear.
they
to my
are
heart.
near and dear to my heart as
Yeah.
well, and they need a lot of
They do.
support, financial support, because they do a lot of great things.
It's a vital resource.
It is a vital resource
Yeah.
for those, and for many who also have suffered many traumas in their life, and have turned to drugs to cope, to feel, you know, to numb out, to not feel. And so I'm glad that you mentioned that.
And okay. And just one more thing. So I'm actually studying to be an addictions counselor right now.
Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and it just so happens like my counselor, it sits on the board, and it's crazy like how right now in my life everything's finally coming together. And I was so fearful for years of stepping into this purpose because I'm like, what about rejection? Like I'm not good enough. And this year something just came over me, and I was like, you know what? I'm using my voice.
Yeah.
I'm saying whatever needs to be said.
And you
not
did.
Being quiet anymore.
You did in that courtroom. That was the beginning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So proud of you. Well, everyone, I know this is a heavy topic. We've heard pain, but the good news is that we can journey from victim to survivor. We can take our pain and turn it into a purpose. And we can prevent childhood sexual abuse. Please do the right thing. Please intervene. Please watch out for children's behaviors. Please get educated in child sexual abuse. Learn everything you can to protect the little one in your life. It's vital for their life, for their teen years and for their adulthood. So thank you, everyone, for joining us this hour.